Good morning and welcome to day 3 of my fuel economy challenge. It's actually day 5 because it's Friday now and I sort of started on Monday, but I'll explain that in this video. I posted on Facebook this morning saying, should I have a day at home editing video and drinking tea, which is what I would prefer, or should I go and run the Jag out of fuel on a third and final road trip of the week to see exactly how many miles it does to a tank? And basically everybody told me to go on a road trip. So I'm now going to jump in that car and I'm going to drive to Cheddar Gorge, which is about 65 miles from here. So 130-mile round trip. The Jag is saying it's got 144 miles left in the tank. So if I do a little detour, in theory, I can run out of diesel at the local pub at kick out of school time. That's the plan. So if we plan this carefully and use science, I can be in the pub having a beer while the AA recover my Jag, not the AA as in Alcoholics Anonymous. Although if you watch the rest of this video, you will understand that I bought a bottle of whiskey in Brighton last night to celebrate the fact that I just had a video with Richard Vobes and done 370 miles in a day. So I had a large scotch last night, like Anchorman. Scotch.
I love scotch.
Really? I was looking forward to a lazy day of editing video and drinking tea, but instead, let's use this grey, horrible day to drive down to Cheddar Gorge and maybe buy some cheese. Aiming to be there for 11 o'clock. So it's, I haven't got my watch on. 10:15. I was hoping to have been on the road a little sooner than this, but two things happened. One, I wanted to get a quick video on YouTube. And if you know anyone who makes YouTube videos, you'll know that they are all obsessive, compulsive personalities. When you have an idea in your head, when you have to get a film up, you have to do it there and then, even if you have to cross a field full of barbed wire in order to do it. It's just the way YouTubers are wired. So I had to do that. And then the school phoned me and said that my little lad had not got his glasses on. Not great at remembering his glasses. My fault, terrible dad. I should have noticed that he wasn't wearing his glasses, but I was rushing around. Do I want to run this car out? Ian from Cherished Vehicle Insurance Services, who I trust with my life, says no, don't do it. Don't run it out in case you break the car. And Ian's had his fair share of motoring mishaps lately, which I will probably explain in another video because he's had some real motoring tragedies. Not tragedies in like, you know, the big scheme of things, but tragedies for petrol heads when cars die that shouldn't. And I do trust Ian's judgment. If Ian's saying don't do it, but every fibre of my being and the fact that I am an obsessive compulsive YouTuber wants me to run out of diesel. Hold the phone. If anyone can answer my Jag fuel pump priming question, it's got to be these guys, hasn't it? Check this out. This is Ryle Garage. I've driven past this place I don't know how many times. I never stopped. And they've even got a Picasso over there as well. One of my favourites. So let's stop here and go and ask the question. Right, the answer is no. There is no self-priming pump within the tank. So if you run it out of diesel on those TDCI engines, it's not good news. So I think that's changed. Although I want to run out of diesel for YouTube, I don't want to break the car for the sake of YouTube. That would be stupid. But quickly, let's look in this yard. I'm going to come back here and do another video. Oh, purple PT Cruiser, my favourite. Loads of Jags. Yeah. Right, can't waste too much time here. We'll come back and do a video. Another, ooh, two-tone sport. Nice. Right, we've switched angles because my new expensive camera mount is rubbish. So we're back to an old TomTom and some Velcro. Still the best way to do it. Check out the sky up ahead. It is wild. It literally looks like the end of the world. I'm driving to the end of the world. Have you noticed that the skies have been absolutely nuts for the last few weeks? What is going on? Post your conspiracy theories, sorry, post the truth below. going on here, but I've ended up almost undertaking a caravan because there's a moped, and I'm coming off at the next junction anyway. There's mopeds all over the place. But a couple of things to say here. One, undertaking is not a thing. It's overtaking on the inside lane, isn't it? Outside lane. And there's an RNLI truck here on a flatbed. Now, the RNLI are very particular about their image. It's quite funny. They're very militant about how they do their marketing, because they are a charity and they have to be careful with what they put out. A couple of things on that. One, it's insane that the RNLI is a publicly funded charity, as in funded by donations from the public and not actually a government organisation. It should be. They do such a crucial job. Other thing, if you look at the branding down the side of this vehicle, can you see it's really plain? So it's just literally white with the RNLI insignia on the side. I'm going to have to go past it now anyway. But the reason that they're now so plain is because they didn't want to do like more complex wraps or colours on their vehicles like they used to in the old days, because they didn't want the public thinking that they were wasting money on vehicle graphics when they should have been spending the money on equipment and saving lives. It's funny, isn't it? Third thing on that one, did you know that there's a certain number of vehicles that the RNLI lose every year because lifeguards forget to not park them where the high tide is? Those L200 trucks. And it's like 2 a year or something like that, get flooded by them. But yeah, I've got all the love in the world for the RNLI because they do such a vital job, and because I come from a sort of surfing background, you know, that's my passion. I feel like I understand the water. As a surfer, you get to learn what's what, and sometimes it's easy to forget that not everybody arrives at a beach and understands exactly where the currents are and where the rocks are and where the safe places are going to be. I take all that for granted. When you've got people walking down the beach and saying to the lifeguards, "What have you done with the water? It was much higher last year," and then the lifeguards have to explain a little thing called tides, you can appreciate that they do quite a good job. Some news. The fuel light has just come on. We have about 9 miles left to go to get to Cheddar Gorge. I've got 62 miles range left, so it's not, you know, we're not desperate. 595 miles covered on this tank of fuel. Because my new plan, now that I've decided that I'm not going to run it completely out and then cause myself major problems, I'm going to run it until just a little bit past zero, because there'll be some reserve on the tank, but I'm not going to break down and break the Jag. That would be silly. Yeah, a chap called Steve and a chap called Jamie, I've posted in the Facebook group today. They're both allegedly coming to hang out, maybe do some photos, maybe look at some cars. So, where am I? That's the question. That's always my question. Look at this, look, we've got an impromptu car meet. We've got Steve and Jamie. Steve in the Volvo, Jamie in the Audi. And we're going to have a little blast up and down the gorge. Why not? Gorgeous. All right, gents. Little drive out then. Well, the climb up the gorge has cost me 30 miles of range. I've now only got 30 miles left. We turn around and we're going to roll back down the gorge. Tell you what though, I am slightly concerned that I left my other phone on the roof of the car at the first car park. I can't find it anywhere. It'll turn up. You have got to be kidding me. I just pulled back into the car park where we started to see if I had been stupid. We've just driven up the gorge and then down the gorge, and my phone is there. Still on the roof of the car. You can't make this up. And I don't mean to be chaotic. I really genuinely don't mean to be chaotic. I've just driven up and down the gorge with my phone on the roof. I put it on the roof when the guys arrived. I'm amazed that that is still there. That is absolutely hilarious. I told you this was the official vehicle of absolute and total chaos. I mean, if that isn't the definition of absolute and total chaos, I don't know what is. My mistake, but I'm very, very relieved that it's still there. Yeah. You never guess what I did. What? When I met you, I put my other phone on the roof of the car. You haven't lost it, dude. It was on the roof for the drive up and the drive back. I've just retrieved it off the roof. Can't make it up, can you?
That is bloody lucky.
Sat and had a little coffee and chatted cars with the guys, and now we'll head home. Cool, Cheddar Gorge, done. Okay then, 85 miles to go, 26 miles of range. How far will we get? How much of a bite can we take out of 85 miles? It was going up the gorge that killed my fuel economy. It cost me 30 miles of range to go up Cheddar Gorge. Imagine what that would have done in an electric car on a cold day. Um, 612 miles so far on this tank of fuel. 22 miles left. Says 0 miles. I've got 9 miles to go. Coasting on the motorway. I'm in neutral coasting. I'm not using any fuel. There's no fuel being used right now. Got a slight downhill. I'm behind a lorry. I'm still doing 60 odd mile an hour. Oh, it's leveling out. It's leveling out. 0 miles left. This is stressful. Like, even though I know it's going to be okay, it's still stressful. Alright, we've just passed the junction for Dursley, so we're committed now. We need another 2.5 miles to get to Michael Wood service stations. on 0 miles now for 15 minutes. Come on, you can do the last 2.5 miles, can't you, Jack? You got it. Oh, it's 16 miles to Gloucester. Is that too much for risk? Can we make it to Gloucester services? I think I can, but there's no need to risk it, is it? There's not really any need to risk that. Because if I made it to Gloucester services, it's not that much of a victory. I end up putting petrol in it anyway, and it just means we made it 16 miles further. It's not like a big, huge win, is it? And I'll spend more money at the service station because it's a better service station. So, to prove my point that I don't want to spend any time in service stations, we're going to choose to stop at Michael Wood, which I know is a crapper service station than Gloucester, and we're going to cut the challenge slightly short. But we're not cutting it short because I've just done 15 miles with 0 miles left. Right then, summary. We're off. We made it to services. Oh, look, it's just ticked over to 100,500 miles. I watched that tick over to 100,000 on Wednesday. What a result. So, we could drive around the car park a bit, couldn't we? Let's put a little bit of fuel in at the fuel station. Save me getting messy with the jerry can, and then we'll summarise. I also need a wee. Range, 0 miles. Average fuel economy, 51.7. Average speed, 40 miles an hour. 100,500 miles total now, and 648 miles to my tank of diesel. Not bad going, Jag. Not bad going. No, I do. Is basically the end of my video. I'm going to conclude by dropping in a little voice note that I received from Lee, the MacMaster, when I said to him, what would it take for your car to do 650 miles?
I can't believe you're still running on the same tank of fuel, right? You have to stop and tell the evangelist this. You're still running on the same tank of fuel from when you met me in Ironbridge the other day. Well, I'd have to charge you up at least, I'd say 4 times, because it's 200 miles. It says 210, 220 miles, but it never is. So I'd say at least 3.5 to 4 times I'd have to charge up, and you're looking at about 50 minutes to an hour for each charge time. That could also increase if there are other cars on the chargers at that time. So 3 to 4 hours minimum to actually charge up. And at each time you charge up, you're spending at least a tenner or 12 quid on food and coffee.
Bearing in mind that his car is a £118,000 car, and with that money, if you actually paid cash money, you could buy 78 of these. 78 of these cars for that money. And it takes him this long to do this mileage. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. 51.7 miles to the gallon. 648.3 miles from a tank of diesel. What a great car. Right, now some criticisms. Feels like a drop link needs doing, and I really should have put the under tray back on from when it fell off on Sunday last week. Never did. Been dragging the car around for 500 miles. Probably would have been even better on fuel if I put that back on, but I never got around to it. I kept looking at it thinking, need to sort that out. I did try to pull it off once as well, but I yanked it and it wouldn't come off, so I just left it. Thanks for watching. What a fun video. That was stressful. Just forget electric cars. No chance. Right, finished my day with an Ironbridge. And I'm home. That'll do. That was a busy week. 690 miles since Monday. So not bad going for the Jag. And I really don't have any complaints about that car at all. I think it needs a couple of drop links. So maybe something on the front suspension. But generally, pretty nice, easy car to live with. Yeah, I've enjoyed it. Nice car, that.
Geoff buys cars. Still YouTube's most boring car channel.